going to be key to responding to this on a short week?
Well, you gotta fix what's fixable. You have to, be out. You just be ready to go Thursday night and have a good Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in preparation for that. And what you don't want to have happen is any repeated mistakes. So you always say, how can we fix what happens so that that's the last time something like that happens.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into Tom Curran's Patriots Talk podcast. It's a compressed week. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Got a lot to give thanks for, especially so many loyal listeners. It does surprise me, and it warms my heart. I'll say this at the outset. How many people I see out and about, over to the gym, over to the golf course, in line at Gumby's, who say, hey, I love your pod. So really appreciate that and appreciate the support. Football-wise, it's showtime. 6-4 Patriots, 8-2 Vikings. Both teams, believe it or not, you're probably not scrutinizing the Vikings quite as much, are dealing with the same issues in so many different ways. You saw the Vikings got absolutely slobber knocked on Sunday by the Dallas Cowboys 40-3, and you saw the Patriots escape with a 10-3 win. But both teams are dealing with it. What really are they, though? Really? Type questions. I should add that Phil will join us in just a minute. This compressed week, I'm at home. It's a Tuesday. I'm getting ready to do quick slant, so I have to do that plan. Phil has been deployed to Foxborough to sit through a bill and then jump into the locker room. But as we await Phil, let me go through some of these details. We're done with the Jets game. I'm sure you're pretty happy about that. Let me go through some of these details aligning the Vikings and the Patriots. Glasses are on. The Bills have these two signature wins, okay? They got Buffalo, at Buffalo, and that weirdness, in Miami. They lost to Philly, no shame there. They got blasted by Dallas on Sunday. Everything else, mediocrities. Bears, Saints, Lions, Commanders, Cardinals. Check this number. This is from Alec Lewis from The Athletic, and this is on the 8-2 Vikings. Of course, the Patriots are playing their prime time on Thursday night. Dating back to 1940, 284 teams have won 8 or more of their first 10 games. Of those teams, one has a negative point differential. One. Do you know who it is? Yeah, of course you do. It's the Vikings. They're -2. So that means a 37-point loss on doesn't help in week 9 or 10. But be that as it may, they're just scraping by some of these mediocrities as opposed to the Patriots, blasting teams like the Lions that the Vikings were life and death with. Many can't block, just like the Patriots. Through 10 games, the Vikings have allowed a 37.7 pressure rate. This, again, according to Alec Lewis, who got these stats from True Media. Like the Patriots, the Vikings can't block, can't pass protect. 37.7 pressure rate. That is 5th highest in the NFL, according to Alec Lewis, through True Media. The Vikings actually, you don't have to blitz them to get to them. The Patriots, as you know, they allow pressure at an alarming rate. There were 7 sacks of Kirk Cousins by Micah Parsons and the Cowboys, 6 by Mac Jones. So the quarterback will go down, and he will go down hard Thursday night. Dalvin Cook, their running back. See, that's the difference with these two teams. Ramondre Stevenson's a good back too. I'm not saying he's not even in the zip code of Dalvin Cook, but Dalvin Cook's a little more established, and he is, like Stevenson, a yards after contact beast. He is 3rd in the league in that department. The Vikings are going to drop you for losses defensively. 4th in the NFL in tackles for loss at 59. They also create turnovers just like the Patriots, but they don't have the propensity to turn it over like the Patriots. Minnesota is +7 in turnovers. The Patriots are dead even because the Patriots have turned it over 17 times, and Minnie's only turned it over 11. Here's where the difference is, right? As you probably understand, they have a Justin Jefferson, an outside receiver who might be the best in the league. 72 catches for 1,093 yards, The guy running sidecar to him, Adam Thielen, 45 catches for 492. More of a possession receiver at this juncture. However, a little more explosive the way he was moving on Sunday against the Cowboys. So what will the Patriots do? The Patriots are bereft of an explosive receiver like JJ. The Patriots are probably bound and determined to take Justin Jefferson away. Will they do it with their former style of sending their number 2 corner and a safety over the top at all times? Quite likely. Which would mean, and that's the interesting thing about the Patriots secondary, and the great thing about it, they have so many similarly skilled players that you can deploy virtually anyone, and they're kind of the same. It's not like they have a Stephon Gilmore that you want to send out there, or Darrelle Revis. J.C. Jackson was not a shutdown corner, so you don't put him on a 1 or a 2 and say, take him away completely by yourself. In my estimation, more of a ball hawk. But you could send Jalen Mills and over-the-top help on Justin Jefferson. Good size matchup. Mills is one of their bigger corners. And then just have Thielen dealt with by Jonathan Jones, water bugging around with him. So that's a good opportunity for the Patriots to neutralize. They have 2 very good tight ends in TJ Hawkinson and Irv Smith. Those guys are down in the number of targets relative to Jefferson and Thielen. So you're going to see those guys out there being dealt with by the Adrian Phillips, Kyle Duggars, and to a lesser degree, Devin McCourty. This is a wild stat. Patriots have 35 20-plus yard receptions this year. It's tied for 7th in the league. Surprises me. I think that tells me too, especially in that game against Baltimore when they were chucking it downfield, that they made hay early in the season when they were doing that. But additionally, there's teams now go, what are they going to do? Throw it over our head? Good luck to you. And occasionally they do. They also get a number of catch and runs for multiple yards. We saw a nice check down the other day on a 3rd and very long to Ramondre Stevenson that got generated into significant yards after catch. Ironically, Denver gets big time 20-plus yard receptions, and they might have one of the worst offenses in the league. Minnesota, meanwhile, despite their firepower, they're 26th in the NFL for 20-plus yard receptions. So that leads me to believe that you're putting one post safety deep and saying, don't get beat. Finally, similarities between these 2 teams who have 8-2 and 6-4 records. Key offensive lineman will be out on Thursday. Christian Darrisaw, left tackle, has already been ruled out with a concussion. And Patriots center David Andrews, thigh injury, most likely not going to be able to play on Thursday, even though there are positive prognoses for him to be able to return before the end of the season, whereas initially it was reported by Ian Rappaport that thigh injury was going to end his year. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with the Patriots embarking on the portion of their schedule that's kind of make or break. It's awesome that they got to 6-4. And that is kind of a triumph in so many ways. And it's a tribute to the defensive side of the ball. The players there first, and then also the coaches, Steve Belichick, Gerard Mayo, Brian Belichick, secondary coach, my guy. It's not Pennington. What the hell's his name? Pellegrino. Oh, jeez. I tell you, I celebrated a birthday last week. This type of thing happens. Mike Pellegrino, DeMarcus Covington up front, all of those guys deserve the credit that we have not been giving to the offensive side of the ball because they haven't been good over there. But this Patriots defense could be in a position to really stifle. Yeah, I'll go as far as to say stifle a Packers team. So far, the Packers, Christ. The reason I said Packers is they're playing the Vikings. Like I said, birthday last week. The Eagles held in week 2 the Vikings to 7 points. Every single week since then. Here's your totals for the Vikings. 23, 28, 28, 29, 24, 34, 20, 33, 3. So we have 2 massive outlier games for their offense. I'm going to go on right now and say that the Patriots are going to hold the Vikings to less than 24. How did they themselves get themselves to 24? God, I need Phil in here, and I need him soon. We'll talk about it when Phil gets in. Phil? All right, I just beckoned Phil. He's still not here. But I do want to go over this. So the Patriots are 6-4. And when I do quick slants on Tuesday, I'm going to start the show and I'm going to say that this is the critical portion of their schedule. Haven't I said that before? Yes, I have. We all have. But this is not cutting time. They're going up against better teams, and the teams that aren't good that they're going up against, they have to visit on the road, Arizona and the Raiders. God, Oakland. Be older. You can't. When you look at the final 7 games the Patriots have, there's 5 losses out there. Check it out. On paper losses. Bills twice. Bills will be favored. Miami at home against the Patriots. I would say Vegas is going to make the Patriots a home favorite. I would say take that out of there. Neutral site. Miami will be a 3-point favorite at least. Mini, I don't know what the line is right now. I should, but I don't. I'll ask Giles. And the Bengals. I'm not saying that's a loss, but so there's 4.5. Patriots are 6-4. There's 4.5 losses sitting there. So that means the Patriots are going to have 9.5 losses unless they flip one of those games. No, 8.5. So they're going to have 8.5 losses unless they flip one of those games. So 8.5 and 8.5, that's dead 500 team. And that's basically what the Patriots are. A dead, mediocre, not bad, not good team. Which games are they going to flip? Which games will the Patriots flip to get themselves into the playoffs? Could it be Cincy? It's only a half a flip. Could it be the Miami game in the second and last game of the year at Gillette Stadium? Okay. I don't know if it's going to be the final game of the year if Buffalo has something to play for, which they most likely will because of their record right now. Can't count on that. Can't count on beating them at Buffalo. So Minnesota, without its left tackle, with an offense that puts up numbers against middling teams, but has also been squelched by good ones with good pass rushes, i.e. the Cowboys. This game's flippable. This game is flippable. And like I said, to get to 10 wins or even to 9 wins, you have to flip some of those 4.5 to 5 likely losses into wins. For those of you listening, I have 5 fingers up on the YouTube, and I'm knocking them down. Wonder when Phil's going to get here. Here he is. Here's our guy. He's waiting for Bill. Bill's in about 7 minutes, folks. And like I said, it's a compressed week. This is going to be a compressed Tuesday pod, so don't get your hopes up. Once Phil has to go, we got to go. Phil, I called this validation Thursday just moments ago before I ushered you in. Both of these teams need to prove something. Both of these teams are coming in very different moods. How do you look at this game shaping up from a mental standpoint?
Well, I think the Vikings will be ready to go after they just got absolutely worked over by the Cowboys. I think what's interesting for our purposes, as far as the Vikings go, Kirk Cousins is interesting and should be interesting to Patriots fans because he is the player to whom Mac Jones was compared before last year's draft. And the question was, is that enough? And are you willing to invest a first round pick in somebody who might have a Cousins-y kind of ceiling? And my argument at the time, Tom, was always yes, because if you get Kirk Cousins while he's on a rookie contract and he's not making $30 million a year or whatever it is Cousins is making right now, that is a massive, massive value. And I thought Mac Jones came through on that last year. He and Kirk Cousins, if you look at a lot of the different statistical categories that those guys would be lumped in together, that's what you would find pretty commonly. Is that enough though, Tom? I guess is still the question. And I think if Kirk Cousins ends up having a pretty good game against what we all think is a pretty good Patriots defense and continues to play this way and can play in prime time, like I think there's a big year for Kirk Cousins in terms of quarterbacking ceilings and what you need to win in today's game. I think people assume you need Josh Allen, you need Patrick Mahomes, you need to be that guy. Cousins doesn't have those kinds of traits. And so that's what's kind of interesting to me, is not only for this game, but for their season in general, is kind of watching them from afar and saying, how far can they actually go with this guy?
You know, what's interesting is, and yeah, I think if you get the 15th overall pick to perform like a player who's been to multiple Pro Bowls, taken his team to the playoffs, put up some very good statistical numbers, you'd be okay with that. I mean, we can get caught up in whether or not he was able to carry on the Patriots tradition. But to me, if Mac Jones is a playoff quarterback in each of his first 2 years, he's trending the right way, regardless of how awful he looked against the Ravens, or his pick to Devontae Parker or Minkah Fitzpatrick coming over the top, those little details. The upshot will be, what is he tracking as? What's interesting too about Kirk Cousins, Phil, relative to Mac, you never hear anyone talk about wanting to bench Kirk Cousins, you know? And that's what Mac's career will probably be like, even though he's had intimations of benching this year because the team is in a weird state and Bailey Zappi performed well. I think once people get used to the performance level of Mac Jones, more likely than not, he will be a guy who's hard to blow out of a starting lineup, because the constant, well, at least he knows what he's doing and he is accurate. And those are two important things, as opposed to a Baker Mayfield or a Sam Darnold or a, you know, litany of other guys who you look at and say, I just don't think he knows what he's looking at.
I think for this game in particular, one of the reasons why, Tom, I'm toying with, I'm not there yet.
I know where he's going.
Picking the Patriots to win in this game
He's dying.
Is what I've learned from Sports Info Solutions here on how the Vikings perform against man coverage. Offensively, it's not good. And we know the Patriots love themselves some man. They still are near the top of the league in terms of the amount of man coverage that they use. The Vikings are 28th in completion percentage against man coverages this year, according to SIS. They are 28th in yards per attempt against man coverage this year, and they're 29th in quarterback rating against man coverage. Their sack rate isn't atrocious, but it's bottom half of the league. They're 18th there. They're actually just behind the Patriots, and they're atrocious offensive line. When facing man coverage, they have a hard time producing through the air against defenses. And so that's what the Patriots are going to roll out against them and say, hey, Kirk, can you beat it? And I assume they're going to double Justin Jefferson all over the field and see if he can. And I'm not sure he can based on some of those numbers.
And I said that felt to me like a Mills and someone over the top situation for Justin Jefferson. Good size on Mills, good size on Jefferson, and then let Jonathan Jones deal with Thielen, whose numbers are down, but there were signals that he was moving better last week against Dallas, according to Minnesota media. So, Phil, it's almost 11. I'm going to jettison you. Okay. Fair. We got Next Pats podcast this week.
We got Next Pats podcast, a special holiday edition with Dane Brugler, with the conference championships games coming up, the holiday bowls coming up. Who should Patriots fans be keeping their peepers peeled for as they're watching these games at home and saying, hey, that guy could be a Patriot. I might like that tackle down at Georgia, or that tackle over at Northwestern, or that receiver at LSU. So Dane's got a bunch of names for us to watch as the college season wraps up, which was a lot of fun.
First round tackles. Oh. All right, Phil.
That's where you get them. That's where you get them.
Oh, I know. We're going to be breaking down tackles all the way through February until.
No, you do tackles on your own time.
Oh, love you, buddy.
All right, love you too. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. All right, so that's a wrap. I have to go do my quick slants pod plan. I love these compressed weeks in terms of, hey, we don't have to spend forever breaking down the Jets game and talking about, are the Patriots for real, not for real? How long can they do this? We're going to get to find out. And we start finding out Thursday against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm really looking forward to you having a great Thanksgiving. We're going off the board at the Currans. You know, we're going to have steak on Thanksgiving. I have to go to work probably around 4:30 anyway for the 8:30 game. My wife's a teacher. She's a terrific teacher. She busts her posterior. We don't have as much extended family up and at 'em right now. So we're probably going to go heavy on Christmas, as we always do. Christmas is my time. Thanksgiving, I've never been a big Thanksgiving guy. I don't know why. I like Christmas. Sorry. But we're going to have steaks, which really amplifies my anti-Thanksgiving stance. I'm not anti-Thanksgiving. I like giving thanks. I do. I'm a grateful person, grateful for all of you, grateful for the job, grateful for the health, grateful for the family, grateful for so many things. But I don't like the turkey rigmarole. Sorry. I want you to enjoy yours, though. Don't have giblet gravy. I think it was giblet gravy that ruined me. You know what giblet gravy is? I was like 6 when I looked into this pot in Pembroke. I said, what's that? Oh, that's the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, the gallbladder, and the liver. We're going to fry these up here, boil them, and then we're going to put them in the gravy. That ruined Thanksgiving for me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jonnu Smith, tight end extraordinaire. He's out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, originally one of 6 kids, the youngest of 6.
Youngest of 6.
What was the biggest advantage to being the youngest?
You get spoiled. Easy, man. Come on. You know, they try to pick on you, mom coming to your rescue. So, I definitely was spoiled. So, they grew up, I was the annoying little brother because, I always got my way. I got whatever I wanted. You know what I mean? So that was the biggest advantage. But when mom is not there, you get the disadvantage.
That's what I was going to ask. Biggest disadvantage? Where's mom?
When mom not around, you definitely going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So I felt that from all 5 of my siblings. It's all love, though. We all love each other, man.
Of course you do. Now, your mom's an amazing woman. She went through a lot when you were young, and she raised 6 kids on her own. What does your mom sound like when she yells at you? I want the best imitation. Is it the full name?
Jonnu!
How often did you hear that? See, you were smart. I was the second. My brother.
I was quite a, I wasn't a bad kid, man. So not as, not as much. But when she needed to use it, she brought it out, and it definitely sent some chills through my body. So, that's mom, man.
See, my brother was a maniac, and I watched what happened to him. So I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, like my brother, my older brother, my older sisters, they were kind of, they made the mistakes that I could watch. And I'm like, all right, I ain't doing that.
No.
You know what I mean? So kind of learn from it.
You really going to do that with the phone cord to him, Mom? Well, I'm not doing that. Favorite dinner your mother makes?
Turkey wings.
Really?
Yeah, turkey wings. It's not even a popular dish, man. Like, a lot of people haven't had that. Like, my wife had to learn how to cook it because, that was, like, my favorite thing that my mom cooked growing up. It was turkey wings, man, and that's kind of, also, I can't leave out the pasta salad. We got, like, a family recipe, a special pasta salad that's unique in our family. So my mom, kept that in her back pocket, and, I loved eating that on holidays and, just different events and celebrations. So.
We got holiday questions coming up.
Let's get
so
it,
you stay tuned. But right now we're going into the dinosaur realm. Favorite dinosaur? Because everybody's a dinosaur guy at some point.
My boys is crazy about T-Rex right now, so I'd probably say, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
If you could time travel in one direction or the other, would you go back or would you go forward?
That's tough. I always think about that, man. Like, I'm a deep thinker. It depends on what what the mood is, honestly. I would probably say, probably go forward just to see, what's some things that's going to happen that maybe I can prevent.
Okay.
Yeah,
some superhero stuff.
Yeah. Maybe go forward and then come back. You know what I mean? To react to real life and say, okay, this is how I got. Like, I see that's what's going to happen. So
you could be a visionary, though, if you go back, but they might burn you. If you go too far back, you never know what.
Right. Yeah, I guess you could say you can go back and change things, but I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. If what happened. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see what's going. Like, how can I control some things, in the future?
I understand. Now, I had this conversation with our guy Phil Perry about traveling back to the dinosaurs. He said, I don't want any part of that.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm not staying there. I just want to look at them and just marvel at the size of the thing.
Like if I could go back to a time period, it would be the 80s. Like the mid-80s. I like that era because it was kind of like technology really started to like boom. You know what I mean? So
that was my hot spot. That was my heyday.
Yeah, like if you watch Back to the Future, I'm a big Back to the Future fan. Like 1 and 2, not really 3, but 1 and 2. Like if you watch those movies, like that mid to late '80s, like that kind of vibe. You know what I mean? And they kind of like made their own depiction of what they thought the future would look like. You know what I mean? So. If I could go back to a certain time period, it'd be definitely late '80s, man. Wearing my, Kango hat, and, my jumpsuit, and
I was wearing members only, Barracudas, all the whole nine for us.
With the anchor piece,
Yep, Adidas everywhere.
Adidas everywhere, listening to Run DMC.
I think the down part of the 80s that you might not appreciate, Karen Garegian here would appreciate this, giant Benetton sweaters on all the girls. Giant Benetton sweaters, I know.
That's tough.
That was a bleak portion of that. But let's begin. I know, we'll move on before we get ourselves in trouble. Thanksgiving. Is that free reign to start with the Christmas songs?
I believe so. Yeah, I think so. I think Thanksgiving, you kind of gear up for Christmas. I think Thanksgiving is like the pregame for Christmas, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like the pregame. So,
favorite Christmas song? You got one? We're probably not into that yet.
I don't know if I got a favorite Christmas song.
I'll get you next month. Maybe I'll get you next month.
What's that one?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. See, we're gonna put that duet together next month.
Who's that? What's my guy?
Chestnuts. That's Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole. That's his name.
What else we got here? Oh, well, we have to do this because it's Thanksgiving. You're gonna have the famous wings for Thanksgiving at some point.
The turkey wings?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna try to. We play Thanksgiving, so
I know
that'd be tough.
All right. Last one. It's about the sides. Mac and cheese, stuffing, green bean casserole, or mashed taters with gravy. Which one?
Say that one more time.
All right then. Mac and cheese versus stuffing versus green bean casserole versus mashed taters with gravy.
Anything casserole, I'm out. So that's eliminated. Anything that's casserole, you can count me out. I'm good on the anything casserole, I'm good. But
Casserole would be a good name for a dog.
casserole. So we got mac and I'm gonna go mac and cheese.
I'm gonna go taters and gravy.
I'm gonna go mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go mac and cheese.
Oh, last thing I have to do this.
What's up, baby?
Hey, what's your number? Number 81. Why is that your number? Do you love that number?
Yeah, it was so oddly enough, it's funny because Eric Decker, I wore 87 in college. Eric Decker was 87 in Tennessee. So my rookie year coming in, we had we signed Dak, and then I of course I signed. So Dak won in 87. And we made a little agreement. So 81 was the next number that, kind of I felt like it fit me. So I kind of just been rocking with 81 since, and
Hey, you look good in the one.
It fits me, man.
It's more streamlined. It's faster. It's a faster number than 87.
It's a faster number than 87. You know what I'm saying? So not that I look fast in any number, but
You do.
fast. 81 rock with me, man. So I'm rocking with 81.
This was a great day.